Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Magical Maven. My name is Heather, and today I am doing a timeless love reading for the sign of Libra. So today is, August 19th, 2019. So this reading, if you're watching when I post it, is for mid-August to mid-September 2019 about, so the next month. However, if you are watching this at a later time, it just means you're meant to hear the message then. So it is a timeless reading. Also, I do want to talk about when someone asks your sign, that's just your sun sign, but you have other influences in your chart. So for these, I also invite you to look at your moon sign, your Venus sign, your rising sign. So if you want to look at those as well, because then this is a collective general reading. So when you look at those four influences, you'll kind of have more of, paint a better picture for you individually. And however, there might be something that comes up that maybe you don't resonate with, and either maybe it's just whether it's not a message for you now, it could be something later, or it might just not be geared towards you. Something I noticed last night, I shot the first 6 signs, Aries through Virgo, and sorry, I'm shuffling right now, but these cards aren't meant for you yet. We're gonna get to them in a minute. But yeah, last night, definitely, this is for singles and or it's complicated situations. And a lot that was coming up wasn't so much about people who are just single. It was more that it's complicated. Like there's, other people around. So whether, it's an ex or, someone you're, kind of dating or in a somewhat relationship with, whatever the situation, but it definitely wasn't showing that everyone was just completely free of charge single that was coming up. So we'll see what comes up today for your sign Libra, but just wanted to let you know that, those situations were coming through. So if, you are completely single and something comes up here that's more, it's complicated, it might just not be a message for you, whether right now or, maybe not at all. But I do have other videos you could always check out. I do have like a pick a card singles reading, for instance. So just wanted to mention that before we get into your messages. So first we're going to do with the romance angels, we're going to see a theme for my Libras. So what is a theme for your love life for my Libras right now? One more. Okay. So we have let your friends help you, healing family issues, give your relationship a chance, and children. Okay, and also I want to mention take what resonates, because there might be different messages, since again, it's general collective, some of you might resonate with only certain things, some of you might resonate with them all, so you just have to take, don't make sense of it if it doesn't make sense, but if it does, just, again, take what resonates for you. So some of you singles who are out there, maybe it's time for you to kind of open your eyes more. Maybe this is where with the let your friends help you, it's like, maybe there's someone that is friends of a friend that might be worth your time or interest. And it's not to, sometimes when people try to set people up, it's not because of, oh, they think you're a great match. They're just like, oh, here's this single person and here's this single person. So it's not necessarily you want to do that. However, things could always come into play like that. But, maybe your friends will kind of open your eyes, to something, whether that's a person or, maybe you could get some guidance from them, like a fresh perspective. And again, always, be mindful of who you take advice and guidance from, because obviously if you have like a friend who is, really negative when it comes to romance and dating, you definitely don't want to take their advice, because, they're just going to put their perception of things onto it. But if you have someone that you can trust who is willing to give you a perspective that maybe you're not seeing, like who you can trust, for their guidance and counsel. With this family issues card, as well as the children card, there could be some of you that do have kids, Or it could be some of you who are wanting kids and don't have them yet, and you're maybe wondering why you haven't found someone to like settle down with, you know, to get married or have kids. And it's highlighting the fact that there are these healing family issues. So with healing family issues, it could be maybe something with you and a parent or your parents. However, it could go deeper. It's maybe you don't have an issue with them, but maybe they have something that they went through that you're having to resolve, because in our families, until someone heals that wound, it's going to keep passing on to generations, and you don't want to pass it on to your kids, right? If you plan to have them or if you have them. And so this is something for you to kind of consider, you know, if, and these things could be unconscious, maybe you don't even, or things that you're unaware of, because it could even be from like your lineage, you know, from your grandparents. But if you do wonder maybe why, you know, there's been conflict, because yeah, for some of you who have kids, you're not with, you know, the mother or father of your child or children anymore. Or maybe it's like right now you're kind of on and off with them, and it's like you're trying to make it work and give it a chance because you don't want to break things up. And that one thing that's coming through right now is it could be maybe because if your parents got divorced or didn't get divorced and you have certain ideas, so you're trying to stay together for them because you feel you need to. You know, however, you have to consider, like, is it really best to just stay with them for the children if both, you know, you and the other person aren't happy. So, and I understand that's a difficult situation, but this is just what's coming through. And for those of you who don't have this yet, you know, you could maybe sometimes attract people, or, you know, maybe you try to give, you know, people a chance because you're wanting this, but it doesn't kind of pan out. Like, maybe even if you give it your all and you're not maybe necessarily even into the person, but you're like trying to give it a chance, hoping something will come of it. And maybe this other person kind of recognizes that sense of you needing that, and it's not really about them, or, you know, and it's really everything that comes through, like when we do have these healing family issues or these lessons, it's, you know, we're going to attract certain people that keep bringing that out in us until we do heal and resolve. So I know that's a lot, you know, for a theme right now, but I mean, if you're single and you're, you know, having a hard time finding love, chances are it's for some reason, and most of the time it is maybe that there's a block there, or there's a wound, there's something that needs to be healed. So okay, and I'm getting some of you too, with the let your friends help you, you know, maybe you do have a friend that, you know, like, for example, like with what I'm doing, like reads cards or is a healer, and it's not to say like to go to them for everything, but maybe again, like opening your eyes to seeing something beyond. Because if you've never heard that, you know, you take on your family's wounds, you take on your parents' wounds about ancestral DNA and, you know, ancestral karma, you know, if these things are all new to you and you're like, I've never heard this before, then this might be something you need to look into. And, you know, like this could even be like that. It says ask for and accept support from others. So even with you watching this now, it could be like, you know, even though, yeah, I don't personally, you know, probably know most of you watching, unless you are one of my friends watching, but it's kind of showing that, you know, you need to let someone, an outside source to kind of see in. And so, yeah, it could be like maybe someone you see as your friend in a sense, like someone you would be friends with, but they could be a healer that you go to. And it's not because necessarily you are friends or you depend on them as a friend, but there's something that maybe rapport with them. Okay. Or maybe some of you make a new friend even who is like, I don't know, is going to tell you something. And it could be, because sometimes we meet people and it's even just for a small period of time, or it's a, you know, just a chance meeting, and, you know, they're a messenger for us. They're meant to tell us something and they may not even be aware of it. So, you know, pay attention. Okay, and this one came out, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Okay. So yeah, like in the past too, maybe sometimes with the blocks, maybe those who do try to get close to you, you might show disinterest, and maybe that's sometimes where you could push them away too. So there's a couple scenarios coming here. So for some of you, you could be like, you know, pushing too hard, and some of you might not be doing anything at all. You know, and it's because, you know, you're not giving it a chance. And again, if you're really not into the person, you know, then, you know, there's no reason to move forward, right? But, you know, you could maybe have a block where you don't always even, you know, again, open your eyes. It's like, maybe you just don't give, you know, someone else a chance because, and it could be like you're afraid of getting hurt. Okay, what other blocks for my Libras? Deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. Okay, so some of you could have had a partner before who was a liar or a cheater, and, you know, that's maybe why you've had this block up, because you don't want to get hurt again. You don't want to deal with that again. And for some of you too, you know, it could be about the mask you wear. Like, you know, you show disinterest, like you don't care, but, you know, maybe you really do, because, you know, speaking of your sign of Libra, depending if it's your sun, moon, Venus, rising, Libra is, you know, rules the 7th house of the zodiac, which deals with marriage and partnerships. So Libras love being in love. They love being in relationships. It's natural for them, natural for you to be in a partnership or marriage or relationship. So sometimes, you know, Libras find it discomforting when they're not with someone. You know, it's just like, you know, it's like totally, you're like, why would I be alone? But again, there's like that block there where either, yeah, now it's coming more into play about the disinterest. So there could be some different scenarios. Okay, unrequited love. So while I was shuffling earlier, I did see this one come through. So for some of you, it could be because you don't want to seem interested because you're not really sure where the other person stands. So this could be something too, you know, when you're singling and mingling, if, again, about give your relationship a chance. Okay, this is, yeah, a different scenario. So there was a different scenario before. So this is more, you know, singles who maybe not necessarily are in a relationship or necessarily have kids, although you could, but it's more about this, you know, what has happened. And for some of you, maybe this partner, this liar, this cheater could have been a family issue. So if you had one of your parents or, you know, grandparents or someone, you know, who dealt with that, and then you are carrying that on, and it's like something that you need to heal. You know, and again, it could have been something in your life, you know, if you saw, like, when you were younger, one of your parents, you know, lying to the other, cheating on the other, or, you know, that definitely could, you know, be in the back of the head, is like, oh, can I trust this person, right? And some of it I'm getting about worthiness too. So maybe it's like, okay, even if someone, you know, seems into you, is very caring, and is even loyal, you might really doubt their motives. Okay, make the effort. So yeah, don't be afraid if you are genuinely interested in someone. Don't be afraid to let them know. And it's not to say to, like, I don't know, hunt them down and, like, I don't know, it's just like, but yeah, just to kind of like be open and let that be known, and stay optimistic about your love life is also what came through. So positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay, so again, like, some of you might have been single for a while, and it might have not been single for a while, just maybe for you it's single for a while, because remember what I said about Libra's love being in love. So what's another guidance? Oh, it is safe for you to love. Okay. So again, going back to the situation for you singles who have trust issues, who worry about being lied to, deceived, or cheated on, or that the other person isn't interested and you have to seem disinterested. Because one thing too with the getting to know each other, if you have been with a partner before who has, you know, been deceptive, just take your time with the next person. Oh, and I'm just being drawn to how at the bottom of the deck it said release your ex. So yeah, definitely, you know, I know those wounds cut deep, but, you know, if you work on your healing and trying to move past that, and, you know, taking what you learned from that situation so you're not deceived again, and you get to know the person and recognizing, oh, is this a healthy partnership? Is this a healthy relationship? And, you know, if you realize, okay, like this person something doesn't seem right, then, you know, you can cut it off. But if, you know, if you kind of give them a chance, because right now you might not be giving anyone a chance. And if you're trying to keep away, if you're putting up a wall to keep out the bad, you're also keeping up a wall, or, you know, to keep out the good, because if you're blocked, it's going to block anything. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So for those of you who have kids, what's another card for you? Okay, worth waiting for and calling in your soulmate. So those of you who have children who, you know, maybe are in separation, you know, with the mother or father of your child, or, you know, you guys broke up, got divorced, or maybe you're in limbo. It is saying that, you know, there is, you know, a soulmate that you could call in that's worth waiting for. So if you feel like, you know, oh, one is all I'm going to get is what I'm getting. So if you feel like, oh, well, I had this love and I had my kids, and yeah, we're not, you don't think maybe you could find that again. It is showing you that, you know, you could and will find that again. But you do have to believe in it and kind of get out of your own way. Because I'm getting like you're not seeing clearly. Again, I'm getting all about this, like about the sight. Like you kind of need to let go of certain ideas. Okay, so we're gonna do the Lover's Oracle. Okay, so oh, here we go. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Okay. So yeah, whether the situation was for you regarding the person that deceived you, that lied to you, betrayed you, cheated on you, you know, it's for a reason. Again, it goes back to this healing family issues. Or if you, you know, are the person that had kids and things didn't work out. And again, this person that, you know, this could be both of you, like what I mean by that is you could be someone that has kids that also went through this relationship. But for some people, I'm getting that you're single, you don't have kids, and it's but you're wanting them, but you don't know if it's possible because of this past. So it is saying that, hey, things happen for a reason. You know, you always have to think about what can you take away from this, you know, that things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. Okay, that was too many. We're gonna okay, so for those of you with children, do you have a card for me? For Libras with kids. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. So you always want to give yourself love. You know, self-love is very important. So this is stressing if, you know, if you do have children and you are trying to, you know, I'm getting manifest another connection, like you want maybe someone else, or you're wanting to get back with someone. It's cautioning you to right now to kind of like chill out and kind of just be in the now and maybe focus on yourself, focus on your kids, you know, not worry so much about romance right now. And I know that's not, you know, what normally people want to hear if they're watching a love reading. However, you need some time to figure out what you truly want and what feels right for you. Okay, so for those of you without kids, you just have been dealing with a partner from the past, or maybe that's lingering. If whether you're single or it's complicated and, you know, you're wanting to move on to meet someone new. Okay, that's way too many cards. One more. Okay. So we have look inside yourself, examine what is causing you to feel this way. So it makes sense with what it said right now to, you know, spend some time alone. So you have to look inside yourself, make yourself happy. And also like get to the bottom of like, why is this coming through? Why did this situation happen? What pattern or what cycle needs to be healed? And then friendship, nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So again, we have the let your friends help you, and then friendship. So maybe you just need some quality time, with your friends, and maybe they'll help heal you, because in a sense of, not depending on someone else to heal you. I don't mean that by any means. I mean that you need positive connections in your life, and if you're used to attracting a certain partner, or you've had a partner for a while who's damaging or negative, or there's been a lot of turmoil with, it's best for you to be around people that you can have fun with and be yourself, and be joyful, and that are there for you and that are supportive. So I would maybe try to get in touch with friends to hang out, have some good times, kind of I don't know, I'm getting some lost connections possibly. So maybe maybe if, for example, you do have kids, or you've been in a relationship or marriage and you haven't felt like you've had time, maybe time to kind of reach out. And it's not to say when, you're single, oh, then I could only talk to my friends, because I don't mean that. I'm just saying that, the friendship is being highlighted. And then also what I'm getting to is, for some of you, you might find a connection with someone, like with the getting to know each other. You might want to take it slow and be friends to kind of really get to know them and trust them before you get involved with them this time. Okay, so the angel answers for Libras. Okay, so it's up to you and romance. So if you are in it's a complicated situation. It's kind of like the ball's in your court. It's up to you. It's pretty much showing that you have the power in this situation, is what I'm getting. And I'm also getting, like, it's up to you. Do you want to stay with this person? Do you want to meet a new person? It's up to you, because it is showing romance around you. Because again, you're a Libra, right? Or you have Libra in your chart. You're gonna, attract partners. But it's up to you what you want to do. You're calling the shots, and you have to do what makes you happy. And again, it's going back to, like I said, with the giving your relationship a chance. You have to think, are you giving this a chance for the right reason? If it's complicated situation, and typically when it's like it's complicated situation, you think, oh, it's because you would think that the viewer watching would be on the other end and the other person has the power, but it's like you really have the power. So, and maybe you don't feel like it, and there are, if you're in an unhealthy partnership, and there's that dynamic of, for example, not to give labels, but someone who's like an empath versus a narcissist, like those kind of connections, you might not feel very powerful, because your power has been taken away, your energy's been being drained, but it's really up to you. You have to be the one to maybe get out. And I'm not saying like all of you are in this situation with that situation. There might be some of you who are, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes we think we don't have the power, but we do, and it's maybe like this person won't leave your life. It's like up to you whether you want to do something about it or not. But maybe you don't think that, and again, it could go back to, say you have kids with them, you don't think that you can, because it's like you think that will harm your kids if you are, separated, divorced, not together, whatever the situation may be. Or, maybe you've known them a long time, and you're like, and this person is kind of everything to you. They are your only friend, and you're like, okay, well, I'd, be lost without them, even if they are such and such. And, like, maybe that's part of it, too. So there's different scenarios coming through, so just take what resonates. So one more for angel answers. Meditation brings answers. So remember, with the Lover's Oracle, we got look inside yourself and take a step back and spend time alone. So again, it's like you need to get clear. Clear on what it is you want and what is right for you. Okay, so Oracle of the Mermaids. Dreams. Okay. Okay, so yeah, like, again, like, we have the meditation, and now we have about dreams and about divination. Because the seashell, divination, wisdom of shells, vivid dreaming, dream messages, dream teaching. So chances are your intuition might be trying to speak to you, or the universe might be trying to speak to you in signs and synchronicities, and you might be looking past them. Again, what's something that keeps coming up is about you not seeing. So open your eyes, be receptive to what your dreams are telling you, what signs and synchronicities are coming in. And then it's like with divination, even though this is about seashells, because this is a mermaid deck, you're watching this video of tarot and oracle cards. So this, could be, your message even, that maybe this is your one and only message, or maybe this isn't the first time you've heard this. It's like, and I think deep down you should, if this resonates for you, you will know that, yes, this is me. And if it is you and you're not wanting to face it right now, that's understandable, but maybe later down the line when you're ready, you will. And again, take what resonates, because not every Libra is going to necessarily resonate with this whole pile or the themes going on. So with the Black Moon astrology cards, to kind of see if there's any sign that comes up into particular, maybe the person that you're dealing with, the person that's coming in, or kind of what energies are at play. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. Okay, so we're not in Mercury retrograde as of now. However, you might be later watching when it is a Mercury in retrograde. So if you're watching now in August 2019, it could be about something that had happened during this last Mercury retrograde. Also with Mercury in retrograde, it's a time of like when miscommunications are likely or misunderstandings. So maybe, it's just about, even if it's not about Mercury actually being in retrograde, there might be some miscommunications or misunderstandings that have happened and that are happening. And retrogrades are always a time of you replanning, reviewing, reassessing things. So when the planet is direct, you can move forward again. So this is your time when you need to get clarity within your mind to know like what it is you're wanting to move forward with, and what you're wanting to, I don't know why I'm hearing X name, but like X out of your life. Yeah. One more. Oh, okay, that's too many. Okay, so any particular signs coming up? Okay, I'm going to shuffle them again because when too many cards come up. So any signs or elements in particular? Nope, just Mercury again. Again, the mind. So, yeah, you just need to go within. Okay, one more. Okay, actually, this top one I'm drawn to, so it was meant to come out, even though there was like a bunch in the pile. Okay, 8th house, endings and beginnings. So for some of you, like, it is time to clear the path and make an ending so you could have a new beginning. But it's up to you whether you choose to take this or not. So now with the Psychic Tarot, so the next couple weeks, how do things look for Libra? Okay, so we have deception and envy, third eye chakra, and disruption, which is the Tower. Okay, so you got deception twice. So you really need to pay attention. If you were involved with someone right now, can you trust them? Are they wearing a mask? Or are you wearing a mask again? Like if you're acting like, if this is you regarding, if you're single and, this is a past situation with a past partner and, you're just free as a bird, it could be about, you putting up the mask. However, if you are someone that is currently still involved with a person like this, it's coming up in the next couple weeks again, and something, the walls might come crumbling down with the Tower. And it's like, I'm being drawn to like how in this deck, he's like standing firm and stubborn, and maybe that's you. You're not wanting things to fall down. You're not wanting them to crumble, but you don't understand that if they crumble, you could start on fresh ground. And again, with the third eye chakra, remember, it's like you have to go within, meditation, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to the signs. So your third eye chakra might be blocked, and that deals with your psychic sight. So, you're ignoring your intuition. And for those of you who this is about, like you wearing a mask, it could, maybe you might have like a tower moment within, like in an eternal level, like of something like emotional that you're being triggered by, or, you know, and it's like you're kind of holding on for dear life is what I'm getting, but you have to kind of deal with those wounds for you, again, for you to be able to move on. So a month from now, how do things look? Okay. So we have mental conflict, solitude, financial and material changes. So again, it's like you're undecided, so you need to, the solitude, the hermit card, I was gonna say the loner card, it's like you have to like spend that time to get clear on what decision you need to and want to make. And maybe when I got loner for you is because, again, like the Libras typically don't like to be alone, so maybe you feel like solitude is lonely, but no, solitude isn't lonely, you know, so that might be something that you have to, you know, learn. And with this financial material changes, if you are involved with someone, it's, you know, perhaps that you might, they might rely on you financially, or maybe you rely on them, or, you know, you have some joint finances, or, you know, still live together even, or if you were married and you still have to like divvy up things, you know, if you're in separation or divorcing. So, you know, that's for some of you. And for some of you, it could just be about, it might not be as much about your finances. It might just be more about you're feeling maybe a certain lack. Okay, the card that fell down was spiritual union, this Two of Cups. So it is showing that if you're kind of moving past this, you could have this love, but again, it's up to you. So it's like things are closed right now because it's on you, if that makes sense. You know, that's why you need to go within. And the Power card came out, the Strength card, and it's funny because if you watch for your moon and, or, you know, if you watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, last night when I did the first 6 signs, this card was coming out a lot, and I was getting a lot of the same messages or cards, and I feel because there's a lot in the collective that's happening that's coming up. So it's like, remember what I said, you don't feel like the power, you have the power, but you do have the power, and you're just failing to recognize it. And with power what's that, with great power or great responsibility comes great power, vice versa, however it is. And maybe you don't want to have to be the one to make the decision, which is funny because Libras are known for being indecisive. Sometimes it's hard for you all to make a decision, right? So you don't want to make the wrong decision, so you are just at a stalemate. But, oh, we have stand your ground. So we got the stand in your power, be in your power, you know, and then now we have stand your ground. So those are for you who are completely single. Any other messages? Okay, that's a lot of messages. Let me do that again. For those of you who are completely single right now, what are some other messages? Again, it's like, I just want 2 cards, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, there's 3, but I'll take it. So for those of you who are completely single, you are trapped in fear. And if you know anything about energy and vibrations, fear is the opposite vibration of love. I'll say that again. Fear is the opposite vibration of love. Fear is a low vibration and love is the highest. And I know you can't see my hand because it's above the camera. So if you are trapped in fear, how are you going to invite love in? How are you going to be able to give love and receive love and nurture that love if you are in a place of fear? And then your crown chakra and your heart chakra came out. So your crown's your 7th chakra, deals with spirituality, your higher self. Your heart chakra, you know, deals with love, compassion, forgiveness. So, you know, if you have blockages with these 2, you know, you're gonna, and then also we had the 3rd eye chakra before. So, you know, you need to clear out some of your energy. You know, maybe perhaps go to a healer, which is one of the messages that I got at the beginning, because there's definitely some work you need to do. So if you don't know about the chakras, if you want to look into the heart and the crown. So those need some balancing and or unblocking. Okay, so for those of you who are in it's complicated relationship right now, what messages do you need to know? Okay, so we have temptation, which is the devil card. And I'm hearing toxicity, recognition, and reward. So I'm getting something of like this question being posed about like, what about their, not to call them out, toxicity, or, you know, is going to bring you your reward? Like what, you know, what are you thinking is going to come from this person or from this relationship? It's like you feel like you know, there's something maybe owed to you, but it's like you might not realize that they're weighing you down, if that makes sense. And sometimes it's not about maybe the person's toxic, but sometimes maybe if two people aren't really right for each other, or, you know, they're working out their wounds because, you know, they're a karmic partner, which is for your soul's lessons and growth, you know, it could become toxic, not because, you know, either of you are bad people or anything. It's just that, you know, it's like you have things to work out. So if you work things out, then you could get your reward. But right now it's like you are trapped in this cycle. And again, that's maybe why it goes back to this healing family issues, because this is a cycle or a pattern that is somewhere in the family line, whether you experienced it in your upbringing, whether you know about it or not. So that's something too, if like you know, if your parents had a loving, healthy relationship and you're like, I don't know where this would come from, Heather, then maybe you need to like ask more about, you know, if your grandparents are still living, talking to them, or, you know, talking, you know, to, you know, your living family elders to kind of see if you could get to the root cause of any of these, you know, things that could be like a reason why you were dealing with them now. Because whenever you get in healing, get to the root cause, that's when you have the opportunity to make a lasting change for healing. Because if you're just kind of putting a band-aid on it, you know, you're not really healing from it. Okay, so any last words? Sacrifice, the Hanged Man. So you were in this stalemate, remember what I said? But again, I like how in this deck, I have different card decks, but I chose to use this Psychic Tarot. So even though this is the Hanged Man, you know, look how she has like this rainbow above her, there's this light, and I like how it's called sacrifice in here instead. So again, the power is in your hands, and are you willing to sacrifice something or someone that doesn't serve you anymore? And I don't mean like sacrifice in like a, you know, a weird way. I'm saying like, you know, are you willing to move past, you know, this relationship, this cycle, this pattern, you know, whatever this wound is, you know, to make room for this light, you know, for a soulmate, for a loving, harmonious connection. Okay, so we will end there. So thank you all for watching. If this resonated, if you like this video, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am doing other videos as well. Like I have pick a card ones. I have ones for twin flames and or light workers if that resonates for you. And again, you know, feel free to watch for your sun, moon, Venus rising for these videos. And I think that's about it. Well, have a good day, and thank you again. Bye.